Hey, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to grow a $2,000 account into a $100,000 account. It's not clickbait. I make that very clear from the jump. I'm going to be giving you practical steps. And the reason why I'm making this video is because, as a lot of you are already aware, next year, I plan on doing a small account challenge, and that's the target for me. I'm going to be starting with $2,000 because that's what I started with back in 2014 when I first began trading. And my target for this challenge is 100K. Okay. Why 100K? Why not do a million, Mike? Because that's what you did, right? Yes. So I grew $2,000 to what is now a $1 million account that I consistently withdraw from. But the reason why I'm doing 100K is because now this isn't to go for every single one of you, I understand. But it is to go for a lot of people, and it was the go for me whenever I was first getting into trading, and that is to be able to support myself just through my trading profits alone, to be able to make a living from trading, to be able to do this full time. That was my goal. That was my entire goal because I absolutely hated what I did. I hated my job. I hated every single waking moment of that place. Okay? So my goal when I got into trading was eventually I want to leave that. Eventually I want to do this full time because I couldn't see a life of doing that. Like I couldn't lay over and accept defeat and just, suck it up, hate my job and, just die there. I couldn't imagine doing that. I knew there was a better life out there. I knew there was more to life out there. I knew I could make this happen because I'd sit there. I'd sit there on my lunch break and I would watch these videos of people. I'd watch these videos, these interviews of traders performing insane numbers, like my yearly salary in one trade type of numbers. I would sit there on my lunch break and I'm watching this while I'm making, not even remotely close to that. And I'm slaving away all night. Every night I'm slaving away all night. And they're making what I'm making a year in one fucking trade. Like once you're exposed to this world, I'm sure so many of you can relate to this. Like there's no looking back. You can't just turn a blind eye and just, continue to work and do what you do. No. Now you're aware of it and there's no going back. And if you were to tell people on the outside about this type of world, the trading world, it just seems unreal to most people. Like they just can't grab their head around it. Most people think if you're making, 70K a year, 100K a year, you're balling out. You are a big shot. And I'm not saying that's good money, of course, but I'm seeing people make this in one trade. Like literally, I've seen it in one trade, and it's a different type. Like people don't realize the type of money that's out there. People don't realize how much money is really out there in the world for the taking. And I understood. I saw these people doing it, and I understood if all I had to do was reverse engineer what they're doing, and I could do it as well. And then it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of compounding. And I could have those same type of results. But people on the outside, they never understood. They never understood. And if you tell them about this, what do they say? Scammers. What do they say? Gambling. Because they just can't wrap their head around it. That type of money's out there for the taking, guys. It's literally just a matter of scaling up your account. That's it. That's all it is. If you find a profitable system, you learn how to manage risk, and you develop what I like to call unfuckwithable psychology, there's no limit to how far you can take this shit. That job that a lot of you despise, that you are forced to work right now, you can get rid of that. And it's all a matter of mastering those three components. That's it. It's that freaking simple. Trading's not easy, but it's simple. And this ties into the small account challenge again, because that's the reason why for the 100K. In most places in the world, guys, I'm not talking about super expensive places like New York or LA. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, and the United States is one of the most expensive countries in the world. And you can make it happen on 100K in most places in the United States. Okay. You can make it happen on a 100K account. So of course, in, most countries in the world, 100K is plenty. Plenty if you have a good system, you know what you're doing, but it's plenty. And that's the reason why, because that is a number that you can make a living off of in most places. That's the reason why I'm doing it to 100K. Because again, that was my goal, was to do this full time when I got into trading. I know it's a lot of your goals as well. It's not every single one of your goals. And if you have, I mean, some of you, like a lot of you you have careers that you like and you just want supplement income. Awesome, incredible. Like you're blessed to have a career that you enjoy. But still, even if you don't want to do this full time, you just want supplement income, another stream of income. I mean, think what that can do for you. I mean, that's a lot of money, that extra money that you've got coming in. That's a lot of extra money. And so you're still going to get value out of it. Because I mean, you're still going to learn how to grow that account. You're still going to learn how to do it. So regardless of your goals, I'm just kind of giving you the reasoning for that objective. But regardless of your goals, you're going to get value out of it. Okay. You're going to get a lot of value out of it and you're going to learn how to do it. Okay. The losses, the wins, full transparency. I'm showing you that process. Now, before we get into the practical steps about how I'm going to go about doing this, if you want to follow along with that journey, with that small account challenge journey, I highly recommend you join my free Discord chat. There should be a link to my free Discord chat in the video description. And I'm going to be posting, as I'll do right now, I'm going to be posting my charts, my plays every single day in the Forex trading section in here. So you can capitalize as well. Okay. So you can kind of learn my thought process. I already post my watch list every single morning so you can learn my thought process. But if you really want to follow along closely with the small account challenge, if that's something you're interested in, you need to join the free Discord chat. Then of course, with my mentees that are watching this right now, that are in the 1% club, I'm going to be talking about that process throughout my live streams that I do every single day. I'm going to be calling out these plays and you're going to get a very good understanding of how to go about doing this. For any of you that are interested in being a part of the mentorship that opens come 2024, I'm going to leave a link to the waiting list in the video description as well to my mentorship. Okay. Max 100 people will be accepted into that. Again, I like to keep that class fairly small so everybody can get that individual attention that they need to succeed. So if you want to join, make sure you get in very quickly before those spots are taken. Okay. So it's not going to be some overnight thing like, you know, all these gurus like to do, like I'll turn $100 into $1 million in like a month, right? All that BS. That's not real. Like call me what's the word I'm looking for? A negative Nelly. I think that's what it is. But no, that ain't real, guys. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Yep, that's what I was looking for, the bearer of bad news. I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news, but it's just, that's the truth. It's a process. It's going to be a process. It's not some overnight thing. It's going to take time to do, but we're going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. Okay. I'm not going to put a timeline on the challenge. I don't know how long it's going to take because I can't control what the market does. If it's a slow market and there's not a good fall through, there's nothing I can really do about that. I can just manage risk and keep executing. Now, let's get into this, how I'm going to approach this challenge. Okay. Again, I'm approaching this with I'm acting like I'm a beginner trader who's just now getting into the trading, who funded his account with $2,000. How would I go about growing it? Well, starting off, I'm going to be risking losing no more than 0.5% of my total overall capital. So if it's $2,000, what's that going to be? That means I cannot lose more than $10 on any single trade starting out. I'm not going to stay at that point, but starting off, that's what I need to do. And that's as I've recommended a lot of you guys, that I've recommended you guys in the past to do as well when you're starting out. If you're a beginner trader, you don't want to jump in and just start risking 2% because psychologically it's going to be difficult for you to handle that. You need to work your way up to that point. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off risking 0.5% and I'm going to build a buffer. I'm going to build that cushion. How do I decide how big of a cushion to build? Well, you look at your data and you look at your max drawdown and you build a big enough cushion for that. So when you bump up to 1% risk, well then your max losing streak that you have in your data for the drawdown, that max losing streak, it doesn't put you down. You're still sitting good, you're looking good, and that's how you got to go about doing it. So you got to build that buffer, look at your data to decide when to scale up, when you have ample cushion, and then I'm going to go up to 1%. Okay. And another thing, so with these profits that I get from my personal trading account starting off, I do think I am going to go the prop firm route. Now, I hesitated to go the prop firm route, and I'll tell you why. It's because I really don't like promoting stuff outside of my control, because we saw what happened with my Forex funds, and there was no way for anybody to know that was going to happen. I know people like to try to shame influencers for, promoting my Forex funds, but nobody knew that was going to happen. It's unpredictable. And that's the same with any prop firm, like anything can happen. So that's why I really don't like promoting things outside of my control. That's why I usually just stick with plugging my Discord, my mentorship. I don't like to promote anything that I'm not in charge of, really. But the thing, so I was kind of at a crossroads here. It's like, I don't know what to do about this. So, but I have decided I'm probably going to go that route. I'm probably going to go the route. I'm going to go the prop firm route. Because if I was starting over, then that is what I would do. So I want to treat this as I would if I was starting over in today's environment. And I would use prop firms because it's the quickest way to go about doing it. It's the quickest way to acquire that capital. And with the help of prop firms, that 100K, it can happen very quickly. It can happen very, very quickly. Without it, it's definitely a much slower process. It can be done. It can be done without prop firms, but it is a slower process. So I could make it happen a lot quicker if I was to utilize the help of prop firms. And then what I would do is, after I pass the challenges and I get funded, all profits that I make from prop firms will be plugged into that small account. All profits consistently withdrawn and plugged into my small trading account. And then keep in mind, every single month, I'm compounding capital. Every single month, just compounding. Every single month, withdrawing. And that's how I'm going to go about doing it. So that's going to be the approach and how I'm going to accelerate that growth with the account. Now, with the strategies that I'm going to be utilizing, I'm going to be talking about that more in depth next year. And I've plugged a lot of stuff on the YouTube, kind of little sneaks at stuff that I'm going to be utilizing. There's nothing wrong with the other strategy that I was using that a lot of you are aware of. It's one of the, I think the video title of the strategy that I'm utilizing right now, and you can just look at some of my trade reviews and look at it as well. It's like my A+ trading setup. That's what I've really been focused on for a while now, but I am going to be branching out next year, and I am going to be implementing different strategies into my trading because I got to do what my data tells me. There's nothing wrong with that strategy that I'm doing, that I've been doing, but if I was to implement these strategies, I'm going to do better. I'm just listening to my data. If my data tells me if I do this, I'm going to have a higher return, a much higher return, then I'm going to do that. I'm going to trade that way. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more in depth next year about those strategies. Okay. But in short, everything that I do, guys, as always, is based around market structure and liquidity. I keep it very simple, as you guys know, all right? Because simple works best. Simple systems, they work the best. Okay. And once you have a strategy, once you have a working strategy, once you know how to manage risk, and you have what I like to call unfuckwithable psychology, like that account, it can grow much quicker than you think. Yeah, you got to have patience, no doubt about it, but it can grow faster than you think. And you'll be surprised at how quickly that small account that you started with can turn into something that you once dreamed of. And you just need those 3 components. And I'm going to be telling you how to do it next year in detail. Okay. So I think the most I'm going to risk, again, I'm going to have to build a cushion with 0.5% first. Then once I build a cushion, based on what my drawdown tells me in my data, I'll bump it up to 1%. Then I'll do the same thing with 1%. And then I'll bump it up to 2% for the risk. And you don't want to go higher. There's no reason to go higher than 2%. There's just no reason to do that. 2% is plenty. You don't even got to go up to 2%. But that's probably what I'm going to do for this challenge. Then, month after month, we're just going to compound it. So just kind of give you something. I'm just kind of giving you guys something to expect here. I'll be making videos next year on the YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified on those videos. Click that bell. And also, very important, make sure you join the free Discord chat where I'm going to be posting. That's where I post all my charts. And you can join that. You can ask me questions. Like, feel free to ask me questions in there. And, I'd love to help you out. And also, one last time, if you want to join the mentorship, there's going to be a waiting list in the video description for that as well. So if you want more individual attention, more one-on-one attention, you want to be a part of the live streams next year where we're talking throughout this process in detail, where I'm doing live teaching, there's going to be a link to that in the video description. 100 spots is the max people that I'm letting in. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.